Alright, what's up guys? So I guess I probably have lost more skill than I thought, right? And the time in between the videos, I don't really play any StarCraft, but this gives me a lot of time to think about kind of this video series and how I go about it. I think it might actually be more instructive that I might have to like do a little bit of more like skill gaining to get back up into like the higher MMR, which shouldn't take too much time. But what might make it instructive is, you can kind of see how we can kind of grow, adapt, and improve together, right? Might be maybe more beneficial, but who knows? It's an idea. But let's kind of hop into the games. Last time we had a pretty decent win streak to start. Then we had quite a bit of losses. What's that about? 7 days ago? So I'll be trying my hardest to win now. So I have been trying my hardest to win last couple times as well. But the one nice thing about not playing for some amount of months, I don't remember, and then coming back, you can kind of get an idea of what your most minimum default skill level is. So it's both a little sad and refreshing that my absolute minimum skill level is like 4474, 44, 4500, somewhere around there. What's sad about it is, obviously I wish it was a little higher, but so I see a probe coming around this time. So it could be a gate scout, but also could be a cannon rush. So we'll just send one guy down to lower end just to intercept this probe, and we'll chase him. And that's fine. We see it is a forge, so we're not going to. We'll send a probe down here. Alright, we'll take his gas. No. Get over here. Alright, he's starting to come in a little bit, so we'll just bring a little bit more guys over. We'll full wall him out. And we'll make a probe. Right. Immediately throw everybody on the gas. And we already have the advantage. It's okay to like technically overcommit a few probes here and there, just because I'm gonna keep making these guys. I'm gonna just go ahead and grab this. I'm being a little greedy by not making anything, but he has no infrastructure to make an army right now. So we'll just kind of take a little bit of a risk by making a more economically. Then we'll go ahead and check to see his expansion time and if he has such a thing. We're not going to be trying to necessarily counterattack him too hard. We're just going to, play it safe, play it macro, because it's kind of requested. Cannon rush, a great way to start a day. Hey, Sinister. And it's a great way for me, because I always consider myself a really strong defender of the cannon rush. We see no expansion, so we're going to want to play a little bit more defensive until we can figure out what's going on. I would imagine it's going to be some sort of push, whether it be like robo charge or oracles. Now, I'm not quite sure the timing, but we'll go ahead and grab at least kind of the initial oracle defense. We see so far no proxied stuff. I'm gonna take a look over here and here. Grab that. We'll go ahead and grab. The kind of the standard PvP setup is, you know, Twilight Forge. We do want to go for a third gateway relatively quickly. Grab at least one sentry so we have good scouting opportunities. When this finishes, we'll make at least one cannon. We don't want to be necessarily too vulnerable against the any kind of DT. Make one cannon in the front to help defend against a potential DT. Now I'm not going to, with my extra minerals, I want to put gateways, kind of prioritizing gateways a bit more, because I want to use my gas for stalkers. We now have the ability to go and take a peek at what he's doing. Okay, so I'll make a backup pylon. You see he's taking this base. He's got nothing, so we are way ahead. Insanely ahead. Alright, cool. Let's get these blinks off. As we're just having like better micro comes in. It's not a bad attempt by him. We were just barely greedy enough to not lose to him, but almost too greedy. Definitely almost too greedy. I'm about almost too greedy as, you know, we technically or literally barely survived his attack. He took this, so we should be able to punish his gold. Which will give us a much stronger macro lead. Like, we don't really need to do too much. Because our lead is just absolutely insane. Because, you know, we just killed the fuck ton of probes. We have way faster expansion than him. You know, we got all of our stuff up. So now our goal is just to create a position that is just unlosable. Because one mistake that some lower players will make is, you know, they'll say like, oh, I'm ahead. They'll attack on like 4 to 6 gateways on like 3+ space economy. And they'll just end up accruing so much money and have a hard time spending it. And if the opponent has, and even though the opponent may have less income, if they have more production, they can push you back and even get back into the game. They can kill you, whatever, because income is only important if you can spend it. If you don't have enough gateways to spend your income, then the excess income that you cannot spend is technically money you don't have in certain situations. Like last time, there's a couple games I lost because my gateways were late. So I just had like 1,000 minerals that I just couldn't spend, and that could have been like 8 stalkers or 10 zealots worth of army supply. It could have been all the difference. And even if it looks like the opponent had like 100 army supply more than me or something, well, it's like, well, if you could have spent that money earlier, the opponent would not have been able to like snowball harder, right? So, and even if it's like a always lose situation, you know, it's better to lose, you know, where you've done the best that you can. Because the difference is the same player or other players will be in that exact same position against you. And if you can make it as hard as possible to lose, weaker players will not be able to kill you. And players who make mistakes will give you chances to not lose, right? That's why you see like certain types of pros or other players or even players in your own game where it's like, man, I was so far ahead of you. You know, I had multiple bases and all this stuff. I just could not kill you. You know, it's because, you know, he's making it as hard as possible to lose. And, you know, that can come down with like good unit positioning, good micro, good attack location, good tactics. Like, are you... so I'm scouting every game after Pylon. Just that way I don't have to worry about cannon rushers. It's too much. I can react to them a lot faster. Like, this game would be really boring if it was just a numbers game. It was like, oh, well, I have more income, I just default win, right? No one wants to play that RTS game. People like RTS games because, because of the skill, right? It takes skill to play. And if it was just a numbers game where it's like, well, you know, I have more numbers so I win, that's not very skillful, right? There you go. Right, it's not very satisfying to just, well, you know, I lost 2 probes, I guess I just should leave the game. I guess I auto lose, you know. So that's not how this game is played, and that's not how you should treat the game. Right? No one wants, like I said, no one wants to play that game, so you shouldn't be mad if you didn't win because of numbers in a game that you'd be angry at losing because of numbers. So just kind of consider that, right? And it's okay to be angry or sad or mad that you lost. Remember, you know, it's the I guess when I say, you know, remember what kind of game you really want to play. What kind of world are you trying to generate over here? Hopefully it's a world or an RTS game that you actually want to play. I definitely don't want to play a game where like you lose because of 1 mistake because now the numbers no longer favor you. So I'm gonna go and scout with my first two stalkers because I might be able to intercept some adepts along the way, like these guys. Right? The reason we make shield batteries is they take longer. Oh damn. Didn't want that. Oh yeah, I need to do this. Oh, I didn't even make that a shield battery. Next I want to do this. Oh, it's more than one, huh? Oh yeah, these guys are better. ETs now. Wow, that is a incredibly fast ETs. No. No. Alright, cool, good game. Those DTs are a little bit faster than I expected. Maybe my DT calibration is off. But yeah, those are... Was that like a 13 gate? No, he made probes. 4 minute. Alright, so the DT's warping at 4 minutes. Alright, I'll keep note of that. Yeah, for some reason I felt like these DTs showed up way faster than I would have expected. I would expect I would have like these 30 more minutes, but I guess not. I could have got one more force field off. We would not have lost the main base. Probably would end up losing the natural, but that would have been about it. But from that position, losing the natural is not too horrible. It's not end of the road. So a lot of people end up giving up a little bit too early in games. It's like, you know, the opponent can do technically critical damage. That doesn't mean that the opponent knows how to win, right? Similar to like chess, where you can have like a 3,000 rated player, 2,500 rated player. They can play the game without a queen and still win against someone that doesn't know how to win the game. It's because of good positioning and stuff like that. So even if you're behind, I usually like to say is, you know, okay, well, sure, you've killed all my probes, or you've done a certain amount of damage to me, and you prove to me that you know how to win. Okay. Like technically, you can say like, yeah, it is a little bit of disrespect to the opponent by not like GGing, but you know, it's like, well, you need to convince me that I should respect you enough to just give up. And then once you've earned my respect, right, once I'm confident that you know how to close out the game from a lead, then I'll honor you with the early GG. So it is a gas opener, double gas opener, so we need to get the shield battery right away. That is important. And we will need to go for a third unit pretty early, just in case it is like a cyclone push. We need at least one stalker to deal with it. And, you know, it could be having that extra unit will also be handy. It will be handy in case it's like Hellion type of run by or something. Like he's not sacrificing, he's not coming in with that Reaper again, so the probability of Hellion is non-zero, right? Nice. So he's been going. One reason why I made a third. A third adept right now is we can get our own counter damage in now. And we know that it's unlikely to be a really fast Widow Mine trap, so he has some time. The Widow Mine's surprised he'll come. They're not gonna come that quick because he went Hellions, he has one Cyclone and all that jazz. So we saw that there is going to be this thing coming. But no. Oh shit. You're mine. No escape. Oh damn, we have way too many guys. Alright, so we know he's got one Liberator, so that Liberator has to be coming. There's no way, he made it for a reason. That reason is to come to my base. Right. Oh damn, we technically missed it. What? No. little bit of not good luck. I notice I don't have my 8 gateways. Need to get up to 8 gateways. The economic damage we did is pretty base, so attacking from this direction is kind of a bad idea, as I have this. Like, he literally attacked into where I had a shield battery. And my APM is still pretty low. The bad luck that game wasn't enough to make us lose. Bad luck meaning like this Liberator snuck in and didn't auto aggro the stalkers, which was good for him. And then the Liberator got away with almost no health. The medevac got away with almost no health. When I pulled the probes, there were still like a couple behind that died. A little bit late on those gateways. I probably should have made the gateways before warping in some zealots, but alright. So the strategy, I think that the macro strategy, I guess, that I want to do in PvEZ, that is, I think is the easiest strategy to do, is it's probably just fast mass air. Just standard macro into just open up like a void ray into carrier. Because even I don't have a whole lot of sky toss or slow macro experience. I always try to play like the hero style or whatever, where I'm just kind of more mid game forever. But the one strategy I do have at least some experience with is going to be the 2-base carrier, 3-base carrier, stuff like that. And that's because I'm a watcher of the M canning, and there's not really a whole lot of difference between the 1 or 2 base carrier and Tempest. So in this defense, oh man, actually he can get in? No, he can't get in. With this defense, you kind of want to go for no probes because you want to be able to make your second zealot, that chrono. And then once this pylon finishes, you want to make that pylon, and then once this pylon finishes, you can go ahead and make some more probes. Six lings is kind of the standard amount that you would expect. He made a little bit too much, so there's the potential of commitment. We just kind of want to buy time for our stuff to finish. And this chrono hopefully will scare him away a little bit. don't think there's any weird tricks that can be had over here, so cancel that now. Mostly we grab this just in case we need it, we start it. But then also and we'll put the probe in the wall with the shield battery to defend. But also the reason we do it is I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Forgot. So right now we're just kind of making sure not taking too greedy of a third base. We don't want him to see our units, as there is some tricks that we can do. Yep, we got this. Oh, we see quite a bit of stuff here. Oh, go home. So we kind of saw and did our job. And our job was force out a lot of links and then check these extra bases. He probably almost certainly expanded over here. So we can go back. No expansion over here, okay. Oops. A little bit late on these guys, but that's what it is. Making sure we have good vision in our base for Niduses. We're always kind of looking around a little bit for the Niduses. This guy over here. So this is kind of a slight opportunity for him to try to metagame us. The main reason for the forge is to get cannons. We'll shade backwards, but we'll see if we can do this here. Maybe we'll get one sentry because I kind of want to be able to scout. A couple more carriers and then I want to start going into... I don't start going for that gold base. I'm just kind of experimenting with it right now. Is that I can't get additional gas, but it is technically a little safer. I'm kind of unsure whether or not I like this gold base or not. Unfortunate. Let's go see what this guy is up to. Oh yeah, I forgot I need to get this. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I thought I had when you're kind of going for these styles, you don't need a lot. A lot of minerals and a lot of bases. What you need is just to max out. Because we're hopefully maxing out with a much more powerful army a little bit faster than he is. That's kind of the hope. You see, he's going for Hive.
Looks like he wants to fight us in the late game, so it's probably going to be like Raptor, Viper, stuff like that, so it'd be moderately important for us to go ahead and grab the Twilight Council or the Templars. Now, one of the things that's kind of critical in these type of builds that I don't know very well is it's really important to make sure you have the right timing on your High Templars. So go for Storm and get these High Templars. And then we also need to make sure we don't sacrifice our gateway count. You want to think of gateways as like emergency units. So I'm choosing to kind of spend my money on infrastructure and I'm gonna be heavily relying on strength of these couple carriers and storms to be very scary. And I feel like we have at least somewhat of a oh man. This is where like having no, those gateways coming in a little bit sooner would have been important. He did manage to kill the Nexus. That's fine. We don't care too much about trading minerals, because all of our power is in our gas. 1, 2, 3, 4. It did get a pretty decent timing here. So we'll send these guys around here to distract. See if we can kill some of these. And we're just playing as the defensive player. And ideally, we would like to always be trading our minerals for our stuff. Minerals for infrastructure, minerals to do damage. Right. Do I have a robo? Not yet. I think I probably want to get a couple of like at this army. I want to get at least one more Archon. Have a decent weapon over here. This is unfortunately now going to be technically an area of weakness. Start pushing back some creep. Whoa, damn. Why can't I not? Did I get this observer? Nice. We'll see if I can grab this again while we're around here pushing. Need to grab. Okay, interesting. Oh no, I didn't get to cancel that yet. Alright, well, looks like the best thing to do is to push through the bottom and expand, because we really need this expansion. Then while we're pushing through the bottom, at 2, 4, 6, good. We can take this expansion down here. And we can counterattack through the top. And hopefully this will be a distraction on him. Creep needs to reseed faster. That shit is broken. No. Oof. Alright, so now if we make some of these guys, I probably wish I had Blink. Nice, I got these guys. So now things are getting a little scary because the economy has been hit a little bit. I need to make some more void rays. We did take out some bases, which was expensive for him. Does he have spores? He doesn't have spores. Make sure he doesn't take this. Make sure this is somewhat walled up so these zerglings aren't the bee's knees. Well, we got some lurkers. I don't need to base trade too hard. Make sure he doesn't have any of this. We're gonna try to take these bases and defend from this position. Maybe even just put like a DT shrine here. We're definitely gonna need one of these. Probably put something in here. So in these situations, it's easy to get a little scared, but all you have to do is stay calm and just kind of know what your money situation is, and know that, you know, the opponent's money situation is not that much better. I have 180 supplies, so I can just afford all these cannons, right? Our goal is to be as max as possible. Alright, so we see that. Bring him here. Put this guy over there. Oh my god, where's my army? Did I lose my, I think I did. I think I lost my, oh shit, we just annihilated one of my dudes. Let's see if we can just go merc. Nope. God damn. Oh, I have an observer. Where's my observers? They're all over here. Fuck. Why? Where's the observer? Go, go, go. Shit. Okay, we do have an observer left. No. I thought I warped in some stuff. Did I not? Did I not warp in stuff? Oh, he did warp in stuff. He's just... Yeah, there's a whole bunch of shit over here. We're kind of both... Ooh, things are not looking good. Alright, well. I think I just have to max out. There we go. We got storms now. I guess we should warp in some of these guys in a safe location. Try and take out all of this tech. We gotta recall out of here when we can. This will be a rough Tough awakening. Nice. I'll go and slant, throw all my ground over here. Try and take out his production. Doesn't have much now. And now I think I just want to get out of here. Oh shit, okay, that sucked. Let's keep going for some more. More potential storms. Right. Maybe make some more archons because shouldn't have too much left. Damn, we need these guys with our army. I think we want to see if we can. Oh no, what the fuck? That was devastating. What the hell? Oh. Alright, well, that kind of seals the deal for us. We kind of have to attack now. Well, not really, but you know, we can still. Do need to take out this economy. Before he gets. Playing late game is always so difficult because typically the opponent should always have more economy than you. And the Protoss army is so expensive. They do have to be very careful. Because we went from being in like a really powerful position, but not a potentially unlosable position, into just, you know, taking a little bit too much damage. And then we're definitely on the back foot for a while, you know. Things can quickly turn in the blink of an eye. But what made us feel comfortable and kind of helped guided our hand in that match was just kind of always looking at like, okay, how many bases am I on? How many bases is the opponent on? How maxed am I, right? And able to kind of pull ourselves back and not try too hard to go and kill him, right? The killing blow for us against him was the killing his tech. Like once we got in there and took out his tech, that was pretty big for us. So we'll see kind of how much chrono boost he has. Not really saving up anything, so having absolutely no chrono boost typically means that he is not going to be aggressive. If he is going to be aggressive, it's going to be delayed. So as long as we don't cut too many corners, you know, we should be plenty fine. Plenty fine. Take a little peek, you know. Make sure nothing too interesting is going down. Everything looks good over here. His stuff is about to pop soon, so we'll just do a little block here. Our stuff is about to pop soon. Yep, and then we'll go into a slower Stargate. See what he's got. And cancel. So there can be like a debate of like, should you cancel, should you not? You know, like you lose 100 minerals and your nexus is delayed, his nexus is delayed, he doesn't lose 100 minerals, you know. So the sentry is pretty good. It's a pretty good opener. So he will be able to scout the Stargate before any reasonable damage is done, but the Stargate will force out a reaction from him. We will have to moderately supply block ourselves now, maybe not too much. So, not to be too... Stargate does give us some advantages, you know. Allows us to try and nip away some probes here and there, get some good scouting, put pressure on, make it a little bit harder for him to want to move out and attack until he's like well defended. Right. I think the Stargate play, however you do it, is always going to be the best PvP. Looks like he is trying to get this blink out as quickly as possible to try and shut down or punish or kill us. So we'll just try and see if we can meet that. We do want to start getting these gateways up. We do know he's not really going to attack us too soon. Without losing a bunch of probes. And does he have blink already? He does. Oof. That's a bit unfortunate. No. Yeah, that's a pretty good play from him. I did, yeah. We were just a tiny bit too greedy. I wasn't expecting him to kind of go all in against us. Usually they don't try to like rush across the map as soon as possible. because it is nigh suicide. But that's alright. Man Bun, UW Crestra. We'll get him next time. But I'd say like that response is extremely rare, so that's what caused me to take a little bit more of a gamble. Like how you normally handle that is obviously you wouldn't go for the Robo. You just still go Twilight Forge and you just kind of warp in there's more units. Right? Just having more units there is enough to hold. I kind of feel like doing one of my favorite strategies, like it's just Gateway Man, kind of a macro strategy. Well, by definition, macro strategy, because we usually go for like a pretty fast expansion here. But I wonder if it's more viable in today's patch than it's been in the past. Alright. With that Pro Pull, I feel like this is Berry Crunch. Only Berry Crunch does that. So feel free to open up Twitch if you're watching live. This is most likely Berry Crunch. I don't think I've seen anyone else do that. But one advantage of doing is, you know for a fact you can send your Reaper across the map. So it's only one gas, we don't really need to build the shield battery that early. Barry likes to kind of, the last time I played him, he likes to go kind of double Reaper. Yeah. I would bet a candy bar it's Berry Crunch. His Reaper micro is not the greatest. You're gonna be so angry when if he loses. I typically do pretty well against him. This guy will be so angry. Oh man. I need to get this. The one thing I don't know is if he is 3-Raxing. 3-Raxing would be the technical hard counter to what I'm doing. It's basically just a 2-gate expand. And we'll throw this guy down here actually. We should be able to expand now. Alright, keep an eye out for medevacs. Since I have the observer here, I want to guard over here. These are not the greatest pylons on Earth. Now, when you're going for this, now we want to go up to 8 gateways as quickly as possible before any weird pushes come in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get this over here. Get a couple sentries. Chrono, chrono, chrono. Another sentry here. They're warping a big army. So now our goal is to just kind of stick on this many bases and make as big of an army supply as possible. He's getting ready to push. But he unsieged. You see him coming. So what we want to do is just shut down that push as hard as possible. And we do that by just making as big of an army as possible while not messing up our. He's on a separate hotkey. We are not quite ready yet. I'm gonna buy a little bit more time. He's gonna try and set up a the armor was fairly large. And now we can take double gas. Go up for the next level of tech. Wasn't the best control on my part. A little bit more all in than I expected, damn. No. Fuck. Somehow I got outproduced with this build. I wonder what happened. Oh well, good game. It was not too bad. Not too bad. Army Valley is pretty good, but where was this? Yeah. Something weird kind of happened over here. It definitely wasn't. Maybe I needed to be on just a couple more gateways. Or maybe I should have made it immortal. Somewhere something slipped. Maybe I shouldn't have chrono boosted the probes and saved them for gateways. Because realistically, I should have had enough to crush his first push, but I wasn't able to make as favorable a trade as I wanted. So something kind of went awry in that situation. Too bad my MMR is too low to get him again. Other than that, I feel like the build kind of worked out. The problem with Gateway Man though is like because the Gateway units are just so horrible that like they scale so poorly. For it to work out, you have to have such a much higher army supply than the opponent, or to catch them in a bad position. And you have to control your army pretty well. So I feel like probably the issue had to have been the Blink Stalker control during the first fight. I tried to quickly I warped in 4 stalkers, but I couldn't get them into my hotkey group in time, and I kind of failed to use them effectively to focus fire the tanks. So I probably engaged maybe a little bit too early. So we did buy some time, but we engaged a little too early. So we got that next time. Try to buy a little bit more time. Don't engage a little too early. And we'll get it done. Other than that, I was pretty happy with how that game went. So can't be too upset about it. So this map, I feel like this map is not set up enough for me to be able to mine this mineral, get back here, and make the gateway on time. Making the gateway at the absolute earliest time is only really important against like a 6 pool or 12 pool rather. I keep calling it 6 pool just because I'm so used to it being called the 6 pool, but as long as that gateway is not like more than a couple seconds delayed, you should be fine. Against anything else, you're not really ever producing stuff out of this, and it's a 12 pool. It's like, does every Zerg 12 pool this? I feel like every Zerg. This must be the new macro strategy. I just kind of wish that 12 pool was a little bit more of a commitment. But, you know. Yep. We got that finished. All right, cool. Now, is he committing? gonna try and tear down my wall. He is committing. That was a pretty insane commitment from the opponent. Probably thinking, man, they don't make 4.5Ks like they used to. People like this I don't trust, so we're gonna go for the gateway for the anti-Banelane bust. We're gonna put like maybe one more. Since we're going for Sky Toss, I'm not in the hugest incentive to rush for a 4th base. But put this guy over here. We'll have this guy in hold position, this guy in hold position for now. Saving the chrono for the Void Ray, get it out a little quicker to hunt down some Overlords. We'll send these guys out to secure this extra base. Damn, these Overlords are fast. Now, Overlord's got a speed increase because they complained that they couldn't scout with them too well. They're free air unit. So the Tempest build, usually you expand, or at least I've seen Mcanny like expand first with it. And then go for like this. We're not, obviously we're not doing the Tempest build, but for the Tempest build, this could be pretty yikesy. Right, we can send these 2 guys to go see what kind of havoc they can wreak. Or reap. There's quite a bit of lanes. Also quite a bit of lings. We'll see if I can get 1 sentry for scouting. We don't really know what his army composition is. Could be mutas. Carriers do pretty good against mutas. Where do I want to expand? I think I want to start expanding here. I guess we have to go this way because shit, we got. Oh man. Well, that is not good. Alright, we're getting. Oh, okay, interesting. Guess I actually don't care too much about warm hosts. Holy shit, should these guys be that strong? I don't think so. I feel like they definitely should not be that strong. Wormholes should not be capable of this level of fun. This fun should not be allowed. Should be illegal. I'm gonna need. Very definitely gonna need. Where? I'm pretty sure I made. Where the hell? I'm pretty sure I made this. I've been waiting for this my whole life. Just gonna have to make. Thought I made it whatchamacallit, but I guess not. What's scary for him is my army tech is increasing. They may have abandoned the over here, go. Oh my god, why? I just hit so strong. Fine. This guy. God damn it. Shit is so whack. No. Stop picking off my dudes. So we kind of have to be in his face. Oh no. All of those whatchamacallits coming out of nowhere. What? No. Why? Why are these guys just so cost effective? Oh, he killed all my... Oh, god damn it. No. God damn it. Looks like we lost this one. We almost had it. Those corruptors coming out of nowhere definitely got me though. I forgot I had these guys over here too. What? Fuck. Yeah, this is not gonna work out. Pretty scrappy game though. But like it shouldn't be like this Swarmhouse shouldn't be able to do this much DPS. But alright, go, good game. It's way too cost effective. You know, especially if they're gonna nerf like the shield battery. Because if you think about it, like the swarm hose, it just kind of insane amount of damage. But we almost got him. Got one push up the middle. We could have. Yeah, I should have added some Void Rays. That was the main thing I was missing in my army. As if I could have added some Void Rays, or if I would have added some Void Rays, when he went corruptors like that, we'd have annihilated the corruptors in one. So we can't be too upset about that. Just have to consider that next time, is to add a few more Void Rays into our army. I typically don't play this style, so it's definitely going to take some practice to find the right solution. Or to find like the right army cap, like, you know. Because realistically, what you're kind of looking for is like, okay, like what is the minimum number of carriers I need? You know, what's the minimum or maximum number of Void Rays? Because unlike like the other two races where you can just make any amount of any unit, except for maybe Terran and Medivacs, right? There's it becomes really like the most important thing for Protoss is to have a well-diverse army and have the right kind of army. Because no one's ever lost. Oops! Oh, Protoss player made like 10 Void Rays suddenly. Guess we lose the game, right? You have that happen when against Zerg. It's like Captain Crunch. Oops all berries. It's like oops all corruptors. Corruptors used to be more of like a commitment, where Zergs actually had to manage it, but they ended up giving Zergs the ended up giving corruptors the ability to pee on building, and they also made it scale damage over time. So the longer they pee, the more damage it does per second. So not only did they give them, you know, the ability to attack ground, even a very strong ability to attack ground. Be nice to have our Phoenixes be able to attack ground, right? So I'm not really seeing where else could he expand if he's not expanding here, right? This is kind of a late expansion. I don't see any Zerglings coming. We'll see what this guy's up to. See if we can get a good scout up in here. Yeah. Somewhat fast layer. Oh man, supply block, it's not good. It was an intentional supply block because I wanted to get this expansion down. Not really. That's just scope. That's kind of where like muscle memory. That's why I always advocate like practicing your build orders as much as possible, because things like these timings come about. Yeah, it's not the greatest. Think about these timings come about because of because of build orders. If your build order is well practiced, you just kind of automatically build what you need when you need it. So since he sacrificed all those, you know, what are the chances of making more? So we'll just go ahead and kind of do a punish with these adepts. Oh no. Maybe technically I'm supposed to go Void Rays before carriers so I can get out the whatever it's called. Get out the High Templar. Alright, well, let's not lose all these probes. Gonna try and crush this expansion, that's fine. Try to focus fires, that way minimize that deep, or we can minimize how much DPS he's actually doing. Ooh, goodness. Other. Oh yeah, that's right. We do know what everything. Yeah, no, he didn't kill much. Just put some of these guys over here. He's probably motivated to come up here and crush this expansion. So we'll just try and take out his third base, or his fourth base, and all that good. Fill this up a little bit. These guys here. Yeah, that's not gonna work out. That was maybe a little too risky for him. That move was highly ill-advised. We'll send these guys back. Aside from getting like massively and continually supply blocked, I had like a couple cannons over here, so he's not trying too hard to. Oh no. Is this the I make a ton of corruptors and win kind of thing? But we don't mind too much what's going on because we're just making a higher quality army. He's invested too much for us to be too scared of Vipers right now, so we'll take an opportunity to get a couple Archons and then go for Storm. We'll put like at least one cannon and shield battery around most places just to make it a little bit more scary for him to want to kind of dive in on us with raptors to try and snipe a Nexus. One cannon really shouldn't be too scary, but maybe. I think that's probably enough Void Rays. Go back into some carriers. I definitely want some backup pylons in case he tries to go pylon hunting. We'll start accruing some energy. Wow, this is like the most supply block game ever. Certainly glad this guy's a little lower rated. 6 zealots are not the best thing to have in your army. Make sure we are well defended. Right, so this is the one thing that we're trying to defend against. We'll just make 2 more. Build up these guys. I'll boost this stuff. Oop. They're going for another base. The biggest mistake we can make is attacking too early. Be very careful first. See if you can be a little scary on the map. What the heck? God damn. We just got caught out of position once again. Right before we are ready to. So because we took heavy damage, we'll just have to sit and defend a little bit more. We want to, make sure we get a decent amount of defenses up. Make sure we get our. We definitely need more gateways. That is quite a bit of resources this guy has. God damn. Alright, looks like I didn't get enough high templates up in time. And him just having and accidentally walking into his army a little bit earlier was kind of what threw it for us. Well, that's the hard thing about playing against Protoss, right? Like, he only needs 2 units to win. Mass Hydra, Mass Corruptor. And they can kind of A-move it, whereas like you need, to have the right amount of Void Rays, the right amount of Carriers, the right amount of Tempest, the right amount of High Templars. Make sure your High Templars don't get just run up on, you gotta make sure you get your Storms land. Like, I will admit, like, if you can, if you are able to control the Protoss army very well against the opponent, it is very hard for Zerg to win. But I feel like a lot of that reason is just because um, Zerg have such an advantage in the fight that they're not really ever required to build up the skill to control their army very well. So that becomes kind of a weakness for them. Like one of the few Zergs that do control their army pretty well is like Cyril. And you can kind of see like when like other Zergs go to late game like Dark or Rogue, you know, they don't do as well because they're just so used to being able to just kind of win by default. Because it is so much more difficult for Protoss to control their late game army because their army is just so sensitive, right? Like you're never gonna see Protoss winning by just A moving carrier zealot or carrier whatever across the map. And if you are, it's because the Zerg had already lost before the A move. Like, I wonder, you know, like, is there an army composition that can be A moved into the opponent? Right, we got potentially a kind of a Roach all in or a Baneling bust. Either way, when I feel like when you see like this kind of an attack coming, you should definitely double pylon here, but definitely not go super fast expand. He's not chasing me, okay. So we want to see, is there roaches or banelings? You know, what is the tech of choice here? Definitely kind of pulled off. Yeah. It's important to get this scout on. Alright, cool. Not too bad. We did opt to go for the fast speed. There's a variety of ways that we could attempt to answer this. I guess one fun build that we can do to answer this is gonna be based on a charge timing. So with this, we want to transfer 6 guys over here. Because then we want to put all guys from gas onto arrows. We get that 100. Then we're full 16 here. What's that over here now? I'm gonna go up to 4 gateways first. And then we'll make this and chrono boost it. And then we'll go up to the other amount of gateways. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Now start warping in. We made technically too many pylons because we could have had 4 zealots in that warp prism. Oh no. And then we need, I guess, 1 and 2 more. So this is both strong and weak against what he's doing. Strong because zealots beat Zerglings. Weak because he did go gold, so he could have more production than us. But looks like he's a little greedy, so now we don't want to spend too much time here. He went for the mutas, which is unfortunate for us. Man, I'm surprised he can get so many mutas so quickly. Because that's like a game-winning amount of mutas right there. It's more mutas than God has, you know. But so now these mutas are coming over. And our ability to defend is almost non-existent. It's going to be a very cramped base to defend. So I'm going to have to defend for a while. Ugh. It are way too mobile. This also wouldn't be too bad if they didn't have the macro mechanic of just making a crap ton of things. A crap ton of drones. Because right now he can just hold down the drone button, fill up all of these bases, take this one, fill that up, and take that one and fill it up. And it's very hard to punish that. Alright, we got these guys here. can I put this? The reason why we build the cannons, guys. If he does run in the base, he ain't getting a whole lot out of it. Oh no. Serpent, leave Serpent. Here's where we warp in here. I have to morph some of these guys here. The reason we warp in here is to block them from running in our base while we're warping in. So if you ever see like partying people warp in here, that's the reason. He's probably very comfortably going up to an insane amount of stuff. So we are just trying to survive. Doesn't look like he's really harassing us with metas, so we'll keep this with our main army. Building up energy. Storm is going to be super important here. We just need to survive. That's it. We just have to not die. Right. And it's looking like we are not able to not die. Like I need these storms like yesterday, but he's wasting time. Fortunately, we couldn't save. Yeah. Oh, he's giving me time to get the storms. I killed that, you know. Not much I can do about that. Oh no. Kind of an all-in going on here. Oh. No. Stay away from my dudes. Oh. You got it. Good game. Mutas are too strong. That's impressive, you know. So I guess the charge lot they did good damage, but I guess it's just too slow, right? It was able to rush mutas way too fast. And mutas are just way too strong. Like 8 mutas, just too mobile. So I guess in those situations, like every time I try to do that, I try to like punish with a counter all-in. It never works out against Zerg or Terran. Either that or I'm choosing like the wrong all-ins, right? Like with that one, if I went for Blink Stalkers instead of charge lots, we would have won, right? I went for charge lots and we couldn't hit fast enough. So let that be a lesson to us. everything's looking pretty normal over here. He's gonna try and block me. No. Alright, so we'll treat you guys to my favorite base all in. It's my strongest PvP strategy. It wins against most people. Oh, I don't see. Alright, well, that's good. So we see this pylon. If it's adepts, we let it finish. If it's two stalkers, we don't. Cancel it. We make sure we get our thing as quick, our thing right away. And we could make sure we grab the shield battery pretty quickly, so that way we can contest the opponent. It's interesting, you sacrifice a pro for the scout. Then we go and see what shenanigans up to. So with my build, I usually just go for Blink and Twilight Blink, just to be a little bit more robust against that 4-minute type of play. The 4-minute DTs, right? We see like no tech here. We see no expansion. Oh damn. We need to grab this. We need to grab this. We need to grab this. As soon as possible, just start spamming the stuff out. There's a 4-gate. We can go DTs probably. We need to get this immortal. Am I making immortal? No. I thought I was making immortal. Oh, we almost had it. We almost had a good hold. And just try and get some damage up on the right. Let's hold up. Got him. You always want to target down the War Prism. You might think that it's more important to target down the units, but no, it's always more important to target, like, even if they have more units than you, it's always more important. Like, if you're ever going to be able to hold the attack, it's only because you've killed the War Prism. Like, just because the War Prism micro potential is just too strong, the reinforcement is too strong. Like, never fool yourself into thinking that you could have held by not focus firing down the War Prism. Like, don't dive onto it, You know, like you see, like the first time I hit it, I kind of just poked it and ran back behind my Nexus. It's not worth diving the Warp Prism unless you can guarantee its death, right? And you're pretty confident you're not going to lose like everything you have to do it. Oops, this is hurting my economy. Because, yeah. Because being able to take out that Warp Prism, I want to try the Mass Gateway thing again. I need the Gateway Man, Macro Gateway Man. Alright, see if I can feel out where I went wrong. These maps are way too short these days. Alright, this guy goes down here. We'll make our... I'm gonna keep guys on gas. Get a little bit faster the gas. I mean... Okay, we see one gas. We see reactor. This could be like a interesting type of one base hauling. If he's going for like a one base, this is definitely not the right map for it. Right. That's pretty cool. So in this situation, we actually want our probe in the base. Because this is probably, I want to say like a cyclone thing. And this is not going to work out too well for him. Oh, double Marines. Are we getting out? We did not get out. That's kind of, was a little bit of a hope. Alright, so go ahead and grab this. I guess we'll try to handle this like the proper way instead of like the lazy way. That's gonna be to send our two stalkers across map to buy time. That we want to grab and double check the expansion. Hopefully we don't run into cyclones. I doubt it. I doubt we'll run into cyclones this early, but it's definitely possible we want 2 Marines lifted reactor cyclones. Want to be careful. We don't have a... Oh, we don't mind. Okay, cool. It's a little unfortunate. So it's going to be more important, because we don't know it's a one base all or not, it's going to be more important to get our infrastructure up. Our production up as quickly as possible. I'm going to save all my chronos for Blink. See if we can. Oh shit. That is not at all what I wanted to see. We went a little bit too far. Alright, well, I feel a little bit more comfortable with this build. Accidentally get that damage. Okay, well, try to expand. Oops, bring this guy back. We have a liberator, so he's gonna be trying really hard for that harassment. for that charge. Don't take additional gas when we're gonna go for like the heavy gateway man stuff. Oof. Try and get as much damage as we can. Oh no! What the hell? Alright, in this situation we're gonna definitely need more gateways. To buy more time. What the? Oh my god. This is not the greatest hold in the realm. This was semi all in from him. Where are we? Here? Here we are. Oh my god. My heart hurts. Okay, we don't see a third base, so we're not too scared. Okay. Here. We'll go with this, and we're going to Colossi-ish tech. Or disruptors, whatever we want. Actually, what the heck? Grab this one. Need a couple more gateways, up to 10. Their economy is pretty baller. I'm starting to spend a lot of gas. I'll take this out so we don't have too obvious of a weakness. Or you can like siege up on the other side of that. Go and send this over here to spy on this base. Keep warping in. I'm not getting range yet on purpose because I want to bolster my army size more than I want to do anything else. And once, you know, I have all the important things, go for range. Make sure my bases are well defended. He's definitely in the defensive mode, and there's a good possibility that he's aiming for mech. Maybe I go for a couple more. Like he does have this expansion here. Does he have this one? Yep. I don't know if he can afford this. Nothing. A pretty nice scan. He was trying to get back in the game by being a little bit aggressive. We need to recall out because there's a chance that he could try to like base trade, run his little stim butter across the map. I beat a couple immortals. But you know, it's pretty much ungodly ahead at this point. It really doesn't matter kind of what we get or what units we make, because we should be able to just bully him with money. And I say should, right? So famous last words, don't quote me. So we are maxed. We'll go send this in a little bit. Let's see. Oh no. We'll see if we can time things together. Focus fire the liberators, focus fire the tanks, focus fire the medevacs. Warp in. Make some more colossi without looking at them. What's MMR? We are slowly progressing up. Not really, we're kind of like middling out here, but we're on the plus side. When is the next season? April 1st? Oof. Is that tomorrow? If so, nope. So, oh, it'd be unfortunate. Okay, no, so. I was kind of hoping I can do Masters 1 before the start of the new season, but it's starting to look like tomorrow might be the last chance to get that Masters 1 MMR before the start of the new season. So I guess I can take this moment to kind of tell you guys a little bit about like how to kind of do the micro here. Is like what I'm kind of looking at is like which mineral patches have like one dude at it, and then I'm kind of like getting ready. I see these two have two, so I'm kind of like timing this out so that way, okay, you know, It's going to this one. I would choose this one if it didn't work out well enough. Right, then you can just pull this, but you can pull a guy back a little. Oh man, did I not select him? Then when you can pull him back a little bit to kind of simulate the pathing, and then this kind of aligns them, so that way you don't have to like spam click here. I can kind of show you again. Like, let's say he's kind of going in. I pretend he's coming back. I go here, and then he automatically kind of gets in line here, right? So we're kind of simulating some fake minerals in his mouth. Alright, well, since I built this on the wrong side, I'm not gonna wall that area off. Since I want to continue to make... There's lots of things you can do at this point. You can cut probes to make the pylon and the gas to get more gas faster. You can not cut probes to make the pylon then the gas and get a little bit of gas slower. Alright, if you're gonna... I think if you get the slower gas, you should probably go for the adept. If you want to go for the faster gas, where you cut probes to get this gas a little bit faster, then you can probably go for adept stalker or stalker. So kind of keep these things, you can kind of keep in mind. And then if you chronos this guy, you can wait a little bit, shade out. If the Ed Reaper doesn't come in, then you can head your way to go scout. One thing to kind of be careful of is while scouting you have to watch for the Reaper, which it doesn't look like there is a Reaper, but there is some Hellions, so all I care about is seeing that expansion. I see the expansion. The Hellion's coming, so I could deal with the Hellion with just these guys. I did kind of mess up and get these gateways a little bit late. I always go like this. With this version of the build, I'm gonna go for a 3 adept counterattack. I forgot who I saw that did this. Might have been like partying or something, but not too bad. I like to put this over here. Yeah, because of the supply block, we're really kind of screwed for the fastest possible. We also did not want to show him. Alright, so it is a tank play. So when they go for like super fast tanks and skip medevacs, that's usually your cue to like not do the 4-gate blink all in, instead just maybe get an expansion up or something. Go for charge. I'm gonna get like an immortal, and then we want to get up to 8 gateways as soon as possible. And eventually I want to do like a charge, at least 4 charge lots, or 4 charge lots and a warp in before he attacks. We'll send these guys down here, a couple of these. And we'll use these stalkers to hopefully stall. and buy some time if he does choose to move out. I probably have too much supply. I don't want to make any more than 4 of these guys. We'll get 1. Then we're just gonna wait until he moves out before we send in the attack. 1 upgrade, 1. These guys. Oh, no, get over here, you. 1 immortal. We have the charge. So now is like when we want to kind of go in here, see what we can pick off here. Warp it in. Focus fire a little bit. And these guys, the weak ones to the back. Every marine you kill is great. Hopefully you don't lose anything in response. He should not have. Unsieged. Alright, so that was a success. Anytime you have the success, that's your cue to expand. Because it's up to you how you want to spend, because, you know, we got a lead, right? You know, we did some pretty good damage, right? We had a trap that killed SCVs, forced mining time off. So it's kind of us how we want to spend our lead, or this time, this moment. I don't know. Okay, I see. This is the problem. One way that we'd like to spend it is through an expansion. You know, just get a little bit more my macro ahead. One thing to keep in mind though is since we spent any lead that we may have gotten with macro, his army is not going to be that small, right? So one thing you don't want to fool yourself into, saying like, oh well, you know, I did so much damage to the opponent. Why? How's this army still so big? Well, the reason is like, well, it's because did you spend your advantage that you got from that last fight you won by bolstering your army, or did you spend it with well, I mean, like, did you spend it macroing, right? If you spent it macroing, then your army advantage is going to come later in the game, and not going to be as immediate. So you need to, you know, wait until your economy kicks in, right? Oh my god, no. What the fuck? We had a issue with my force fields, so supposed to be able to force him back, but we ended up force fielding nothing, nowhere. Damn. Ooh. Looks like that one fight, this over here, not being able to force field out is what lost us the game. And that was kind of our mistake. thought I'd be able to land the force fields to push him back, but we were unable to push him back. We messed up the force fields. We lost a little bit too much in retreat. And then we end up losing because of it. Because the goal is to buy time. Like, we invested all of our advantage into getting a macro lead, but we weren't able to buy enough time to realize that macro lead, right? And then we started losing some of that strength early on. So that's kind of why we lost that game. But had we been able to, you know, connect those force fields so that way he couldn't like slip through, the game would have been one side in our favor instead of one side in his favor. So that is the small weakness you have when you try to convert an advantage into macro advantage, with a little bit of, you know, technically, I guess you can technically call it greed, is that you do have like a technical weakness, right? So. Doo-doo-doo-doo. We'll just do some light harassment and not so much the so depending on how well he is on his scouting, he should know that there is this on the map. And he found it. Nice. Out of all of the unluck. In the world. We shouldn't be too scared of DTs because we have oracles to detect for us. So there's no need to like rush. It's interesting that he went for Oracle himself. We need to make sure we're well defended here. That was a hallucination. Okay. We'll go and check for expansions. If he expanded, so we have 2, 4, 5, 6. So one way he could technically be trying to come back is through expansion. Let's see if we can punish that with 2 base all in. See if we can kill some probes while we can. We have +1. I think I probably have more. It's always nice to warp at least a couple zealots to just have a nice tank. We got a wonderful stasis here. Pretty much PvP god here. There's no chance to win. We'll move this out of the way. We'll go and hide this over here. Alright, well, we need to take our own expansion. Oh, nice. That was a classy move from him. He's going for charge. I don't know I don't know if I agree with that. Unfortunately, we lost our war prism. It is truly unfortunate. We did kill his oracle, so I doubt he's going to make another one. Once we get +2, he only has +1. I think once we get +2, I think we're in pretty good shape. I think that can really scare me is if I can't kill him and he has like this massive large lot counterattack. So I'm gonna go and pressure this base again with our +2 attack, and I think we should just be able to kill him. I don't think he has a big enough army to stop me. No. Just try and follow him all the way to his base, taking expansions. I feel like this is, cope from him to not give up. He could be trying to go for wind ruptors, and he could be having like hidden bases. So let's check for the hidden base. We'll make sure we have all of our base defenses in a line so DTs can't win. Go check here, check there. Okay, grab that. I guess I'll get my own charge now. For guns. We do have BTs. Oh my god. Trying to take out my production. His army supply is definitely not large enough for me to be afraid. He was definitely gonna try to yeah, it's not gonna work. So it looks like we're not completely washed up, guys. Not completely washed up. Get a big fat 34 against Scion. We got a revenge, you know. I think he beat us a couple times. We finally catching back up. Finally climbing back up to where it used to be. I feel like, you know, it's pretty late. That's probably a pretty good win to end on. You see how like even though he went for like the fast expansion, we were just completely ahead the entire game. There's like this one brief little moment. Where was this? This 10-minute, like 9 to 10 minutes, or 9 to 10, 9.5 to 10.5 minutes, or so. When did this happen? So for sure this was my attack, or this must have been right. Because when did he lose a lot of supply? Yeah, I wonder when this was in the game. But oh well. At least I can get one good win for you guys. We had also a couple close wins against some 5K players. Like, even though it may not look close, like, what's interesting is like in StarCraft 2, sometimes small mistakes lead to large outcomes, right? So like if like waiting just one more warp in can be a difference between, you know, you pushing back their army and, you know, it could be a pretty even game, or it can be a difference between you not being able to, like against Will's probably Berry Crunch, you know, my army wasn't quite big enough to push him back, so that gave him the strength to posture very very strong against me and then just kind of overwhelm me. Whereas I was able to push him back, then, you know, it would have been a more tactical positional fight with like 3 going on, or 4 going on 5 base Protoss against 3 going on 4 base Terran. So like small mistakes or small, like, you know, misplays can make the outcomes look much larger than they actually were. And that feeling, when you're not used to it or you don't kind of realize it, that feeling can feel pretty helpless, right? You can easily make one bad decision and, you know, feel like you just got completely decimated, when it's like, well, okay, you know, had you made a slightly different decision, maybe you wouldn't have gotten decimated as much. You might have still lost, but it might have been closer, right? And that's kind of where you want to be. It's like, you know, if you can make it as difficult for the opponent to beat you as possible, then anyone weaker will have a chance of losing, and then anyone weaker than that will lose, right? Given the same situation. In RTS games, so I don't have a huge amount of diverse RTS experience, but I feel like a common trend in RTS is if you are really good at not dying, or some of the best players are really good at not dying, right? Not dying is really an important skill to have. Or to make it as difficult. It's an important skill to make it as difficult as possible for the opponent to kill you, especially when they have a lead. But anyway, you guys have a good night. It was fun. I'm glad we were able to end the night, you know, making Scion whisper us twice with nothing. But all right, I'll see you next time. We did climb a little bit, but, you know, all I need to do is get a little bit more refined, make sure my builder is a little bit more tight, right? The builder is probably the most important thing. And it's probably the thing that's been holding me back in this stream, especially doing like the macro play, is placing like going carriers, like, you know, when do I put those gateways down? Gotta play with that timing. I'm pretty sure the answer to that is probably I should go up to 8 gateways before I start spamming cannons everywhere. So, and the reason, like, even though your goal is to mass air, the reason you want to have a lot of gateways is kind of for that oh shit moment. Like, if he's coming to attack you, um, you want to be able to just warp in units to maximally survive. You want to have that ability, even though you might not be going for that gateway army. You might want to build a gateway army to defend, right? Because all that money you have in the bank isn't going to win you the game if you can't spend it. And the Protoss army is already so fragile that, and part of the reason the Protoss army has become fragile over time is because of warp gate, right? If there wasn't the ability to warp in units, the Protoss army would probably be more durable. And for anyone that is unsure of what I mean, it's a long time ago. There's this concept called like the 300 food push, and only Protosses and Zergs could do something like a 300 food push. It was mostly like Zergs doing the 300 food push, and Protoss could do like, you know, a 250-ish food push kind of a deal. But the idea is like, once you have max supply, if you bank larva and you bank gateways, then while you're attacking, you can be keeping your army maxed instantly. Like, I'm warping down the front line, so effectively the army I'm attacking with is 200 plus all of the gateway units I can warp in. So, you know, 200 plus 2 for every gateway. So if I have like 10 gateways, it's a 220 food push. If that push lasts long enough, it could be a 240 food push off those 10 gateways. I have 20 gateways, it's a 240 food push or a 280 food push, depending on how many warp-ins I can get during that attack. And all of those warp-ins are on the front line, right? It's not quite exactly like a 300 food or 300 food push because you don't have the DPS from those units, but you technically have the health kind of from those units, right? It makes your push last longer. Zerg, even though their units have to run across the map, they can basically be streaming in units, and their move speed is so high that like they can get to the front line in about as fast as it takes to like warp in a unit, right? Or fairly quickly. So as long as your army isn't evaporating super fast, as long as your reinforcements can get to the front line fast enough to make up for the units that are being lost, then the concept of you attacking with an army larger than 200 food becomes realized, right? So because that is a mechanic that can make Protoss really powerful, it has the consequence of making your units have to be weaker, right? Have to not be as durable, not be as DPSing, and so on and so forth. Because otherwise, like if my units could go toe to toe with the opponent, and I have the advantage of being able to warp in at the front line, then it becomes kind of broken, right? So we can't be too upset with, like technically how weak the Protoss units are. It's almost, it has to be that way by design because of how warp gate functions, because of how disruptors function, stuff like that. It's one reason why the community of Protoss players hated the disruptors since day one, and we still hate the disruptors today. Only like certain Protosses that are like a little insane like disruptors because they just like making people angry. But the biggest reason why people hate the disruptors, in my opinion, is why I hate the disruptors, is because they're too strong, right? Protoss doesn't need units that are just too strong, because every time you give Protoss something too strong, you have to make the rest of the army weak, because, you know, my army is strong and you gave me this unit that can literally delete the opponent's army if they're not watching, well, now you have to weaken the army more to compensate for the strength of this other unit. I think Legacy of the Void would be a lot more fun for everybody and a lot more balance if they would have just given us anything else besides a disruptor like unit, right? Storm was fine, but yeah, I think Legacy of the Void units for almost all the races were a complete fail as far as making the game funner, more interesting, dynamic. None of the Legacy of Void units were able to achieve any of that. And if Heart of the Swarm wasn't such a mess with like Swarm Host and stuff, I feel like Heart of the Swarm probably would have been the best expansion. But it's kind of unfortunate. Unfortunate that they came up with units that maybe sounded cool on paper, but they probably didn't think about them all the way through, you know? Like, I feel like if I was gonna make an expansion for a game like StarCraft or Age of Empires, I would just look at the strengths and weaknesses of all the races and feel like, okay, you know, how can I, you know, increase the strength, how can I, you know, remedy the weaknesses, like bring those up a little bit, and then maybe bring down some of the strengths to kind of like balance it out. And I think if you have a game where the strengths and the weaknesses are a little bit closer together, not so wide apart, it would be a lot more fun because of the diversity of the strategies that you can employ. Because if you look at all the units that StarCraft has, which isn't a huge amount, but it's like a good amount, and they're diverse enough to really have some like unique, fun strategies, right? You can play kind of Stalker Zealot. You could go for like the Adept kind of Phoenix combination. You got the Zealot Archons. You can mix Storms in with some stuff. You can do like, you know, Stalker Disruptors. You have Carrier Vipers or Tempest Stalker, right? There's lots of different like combinations of units. You know, it would have been nice to give Terran something a little bit more useful on the mech part, like what they're trying to do with Cyclones now. Maybe give them a better core durable unit, which is what I think the Hellbat originally was supposed to be. I think the Hellbat was supposed to be like that core tank, like filler unit, but they kind of missed the ball on that. Maybe if the Hellbat was a little bit faster, that might be a buff I would look at for Terrans, make that faster. But, you know, it could be like a really fun way of combining these units. If certain things like the Disruptor isn't too strong, or the Mothership wasn't too strong, you know, Thor wasn't too strong. They kind of missed the ball on it. But still a fun game. Like, I still have a lot of fun playing StarCraft. And the fact that I'm technically or literally struggling a little bit is making me want to play the game more, right? This is like I'm starting to feel a little more challenged. But you know, Stormgate beta comes on. Like I'm hoping I can finish this before the Stormgate beta starts up again. This next Stormgate beta, I put StarCraft 2 down again. I am all in on that copium, Stormgate. But anyway, I will try my hardest to hopefully not be tired tomorrow, so that way I can play again. So I feel like, you know, I'm close to maybe being warmed up enough to build this bar up to Masters 1. So we'll be trying extra hard to get there. But it's a little sad of a matchmaking right here, but whatever. What is my race report? So even though I mass loss, like this is starting to look more like a normal win-loss ratio. So even though we started at like 0 and 99. We're kind of back up to a normal account, so no one can really accuse us of smurfing. That's probably what this guy's. He probably looked at my account, and be like, "This guy played way too good." He probably looked at that profile. He's like, you know, like, what the hell is this? And I wish I could say I am smurfing. I wish I could say that, yeah, you know, I'm a 5K player and just doing a speedrun challenge. And if it was 3 months ago, I probably could say that. Right now, I have no idea what my MMR is. Like right now, probably my MMR is 4.5K. Yeah, maybe I'm not a Masters 1 anymore, but we'll find out. We'll find out. And I only need, what's like 250 more MMR. That's 10 games. If I win 10 games, Masters 1. So hopefully we can get a 10 game streak and then just get, I think it's locked, so we're not gonna get promoted, but I don't care about promotion. I care about my goal, hopefully, is to get 4825 MMR. I could be Masters 2 with this, Masters 1 with this, it doesn't matter. But did we get another Whisper here? But yeah, so this playlist, I would like to complete it.